Sahana vavatu Sahanau bhunaktu Sahaviryam karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We recite this verse. Kim punar brahmana punyaha bhakta rajashayastatha anityam sukham lokam imam prapya bhajasvamam. Prapya, having gained, imam lokam, this world, which also means this body, which is anityam asukham, which is non-eternal and offering little happiness. Bhajasvama, may you seek me. The idea is that there is nothing else that you can seek. Or what you are seeking is not available anywhere else. Here, Arjuna, what you are seeking is happiness, let us say. And if you ask yourself, how much happiness do I want? Then do you want this much happiness, that much happiness, this much? The answer will be that I want boundless happiness. It doesn't matter who you ask, whether the person is great or person is small, but the desire is very similar. Desire for happiness is there, and desire for boundless happiness is there. I know I'm not going to get it, and I maybe have to do with what I get. But if I had my way, then I would want boundless happiness. How long? 24/7. I know it's not going to happen. If I had my way, I would want boundless happiness 24/7. Suppose you are told that you will be happy as long as you are in this hall. Once you leave the hall, you will be miserable. No, I don't want that. I want to be happy at all the places, at all the times, at all the places. I want boundless happiness. If we examine what it is that we are seeking, that each one of us is seeking happiness, nobody wants unhappiness. Natural love for happiness, natural attachment for happiness, and aversion from unhappiness. They say you should not have raga dvesha, but we are born with raga dvesha. You are born with raga or attachment for happiness and dvesha or aversion for unhappiness. So we want happiness at the exclusion of unhappiness. How much happiness you want? Boundless. So that is how moksha is described as twofold desire on the part of human being. It is atyantika dukkha nivritti and nirdishaya sukha avapti. Atyantika dukkha nivritti, cessation of unhappiness or sorrow once and for all. Cessation of sorrow once and for all, meaning that sorrow should go and never come back. And niritisha sukha avapti, attainment of unsurpassable happiness, meaning that happiness should come and not go. We want that happiness should come and never not leave, unhappiness should go and never come back. That is the basic desire, and that is called moksha. Moksha is the fulfillment of this basic desire of cessation of all the sorrow once and for all, and attainment of unsurpassable happiness once and for all. So this is what human mind is desiring. Most of us have never looked into what it is that we want. And we think that we want this, this and so forth. As the mind keeps on asking for new things, we think that's what we want. But if you analyze what is the want behind all the wants, what is the reason why, in spite of fulfilling so many desires, how is it that new desires keep on arising in me? By now I have fulfilled countless desires. And still, what is the reason why new desires keep on springing from my mind? Because what the mind is desiring, it has not yet gained. What it is desiring is, as I said, the boundless happiness, which it has not gained. So this is what every human being wants. Cessation of sorrow once and for all, and attainment of boundless happiness once and for all. This is called moksha. And human being is searching for it everywhere. In search of happiness, human being acquires the wealth and fame and power and various worldly things he acquires, hoping that they will give him what he wants. That boundless happiness, nitya sukham, that I will have permanent happiness. Lord, anityam asukham lokam. But everything in the world is anityam. Whatever you look at is anityam, meaning that is impermanent. However great things there are, they are all created and therefore someday they will perish. These days when you read, even in newspaper also, there's news about this astronomy, etc. The most mind-boggling things. What kind of black holes there are in some galaxies, and black holes, these are so many billion light years, it's beyond comprehension how huge these things are. And those black holes are doing something, and so scientists are feeling some kind of pulse here with their instruments. That way this world is boundless, most amazing, most mind-boggling on one hand. At the same time still impermanent, because what is created will perish someday. The latest figure that I read now yesterday was 13.6 billion years. That number changes. At some point it was 18 billion years ago that the universe was created. I think it was 14 billion years, now yesterday 13.6 billion years. And it's expanding. Someday it'll run out of steam and then it will start contracting. But anityam, however great things they are still impermanent. Nothing wrong in it. Lord Krishna is not criticizing the world. That is its observation that what is impermanent. It's not a criticism. It's an observation. Arjuna recognized that what is there is all impermanent. But what is the reason why it is described that way? Because in your heart you are seeking something permanent. Because the human heart is seeking something permanent. I want happiness to come and never leave me. Happy once and for all. In that context, Lord Krishna is saying that everything is impermanent. Meaning, Arjuna, what you expect cannot be found anywhere in the world. The world is great, it's mind-boggling, it's wonderful, it's most amazing. It's for you to wonder and enjoy. And still it is impermanent. Therefore, also Arjuna recognizes that you are seeking something in life. That human being is seeking something in his life. The fact that desires keep on arising in my heart one after the other, and in spite of fulfilling so many desires, the desire itself has not yet ceased to be, that means there is something that I am seeking. If a human being is a seeker of what? Of this limitless happiness. Arjuna, anityam, asukham lokam, everything out there is anityam, is limited or impermanent. Asukham not only is of the nature of sorrow, in fact, not only it is limited, but also of the nature of sorrow or unhappiness. So this is told to create vairagya, not to criticize the universe, not to condemn something, it's an observation to create vairagya. Because we have fascination for the world, the objects or the attainments of the world. We have fascination for wealth and power and fame. These days we don't care for it, but in the olden days their fascination was Swarga, for heaven. Today nobody cares for heaven because nobody believes in heaven. That is why all the scriptures tell us, Heaven is not in my agenda right now. It's not in my, it's not my radar, they say. Heaven is not in my radar. Why is it? Because I don't trust. If I trusted, then there heaven would be there, because there are some people who may still be thinking right now. But now we talk of something in moon and something in Mars and something in some other world and building colony there and living there and creating a new world for ourselves. One thing is certain, that human being is not satisfied with what is here. And so he thinks of something that will be perfect. Anityam, asukham lokam. But why does Lord Krishna describe this? That's what it is. Then does it mean, oh Lord, that my desire can never be satisfied? How come here desiring something that is permanent, long-lasting happiness? That's what I desire. And everything that is impermanent, of the nature of sorrow, does it mean that the life is absolutely hopeless? That there is no way out to fulfill my desire? Lord Krishna says no. Says that now understand what the world is, and therefore don't expect from the world what the world cannot give you, that's all. It is impermanent, therefore cannot give you something permanent. It has limited happiness, cannot give you limitless happiness, and therefore just let it go from your mind. By what we mean letting go is that don't demand anything from the world, don't expect anything from the world. It will give you what you want. Then where should I look? Bhajasva mam, Lord Krishna says, worship me. The Vedanti's explanation will be very simple. Worship God, but worship me. Worship I, who is their very self. One way of interpreting this is, worship me, Lord Krishna is speaking here as the very self. Hey Arjuna, worship me or seek me, who is your very self. Meaning that what you are expecting to accomplish from the world or from other things, recognize that you can accomplish from your own self because you are what you are seeking to be. This is the basic message that Vedanta gives. You are what you are seeking to be. In Vedanta they say it is the accomplishment of what is already accomplished. All of you have heard the story of 10th man, isn't it? I'm sure. I'm sure there is somebody who has not heard. I hope, If somebody says, I have not heard the 10th man story, then that gives you an opportunity to talk about, tell you. No, Swamiji. They are really scared, Swami will start again, all over again, and tell us the story. But we have to cover that, because in case somebody is not heard, they have not heard. I'm sure those who heard also would enjoy hearing it again. But this 100 times, Swami, not again. Every time we come to the class, we hear that story. But we tell the story in a slightly different way every time, So once upon a time, in a village, some young boys decided that we want to go for a picnic. In the situation being what it is, they could not independently make that decision, they have to seek permission. So this group of boys went to the elders in the village and expressed their desire that tomorrow we would like to go for a picnic. Do we have the permission? So the elder was very kind. He said, all right, you can. With one condition, that one of you should take the responsibility of bringing everybody else back safely. Yes, I take the responsibility. So somebody volunteered to take the responsibility to bring back the rest of them safely. So let me see, how many are you? Come on, line up in front of me. The old man said, this you have never heard, but this is my way of telling you. Because how did they know they were 10, And how do they think of counting? So this old man said, let me count how many are. Line up in front of me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 of you, okay? And you are responsible for bringing all of them back safely. Yes, I will do that. So next morning they all set out for their picnic. Yeah. They were running and walking and came across the river. All village boys, they knew swimming and so they swam across the river. It's not a very deep river, it's a shallow river. When they reached the other bank of the river, then the leader who was given the responsibility to bring them back thought, wait a minute, before we proceed further, let me make sure that all of us have reached safely. So he knew that we were 10 because that's what the old man had counted. So let us see whether we have all reached safely or not. So you remember how the old man had counted. He said, oh, come on, line up in front of me. Let me count. They all lined up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He just he simply copied what the old person had done. See, have you ever heard a story like this? Because how did it occur to him to count like that? Because he had seen. And how did he know that there were 10? Because they were told there are 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9. Again 1, 2, 3, 4. In different ways he counted. and got a bit impatient and said, "Come on fellows, don't talk. Come on, when I'm counting, just keep quiet." He got irritated, but everywhere the count was 9. So he asked one of his friends, he said, "You count." So he joined the line. This fellow counted. They all studied in the same school and therefore they counted in the same way. One by one, each one of them came forward and concluded there were 9. Now they are very sure that we are 9 and one of us is lost. So then they started searching for the 10th, because they can't go back now, we have to give answer to that old man. So they were searching for the 10th. I asked a question. So when they were searching for the 10th, who were they searching for? Isn't it? Unknowingly. When they were searching for the 10th man, who were they searching for? Their own self. Isn't it strange? That you are searching for your own self. Is it not strange? What's the reason? What's the reason why they were doing a strange act of searching for the 10th man when each one of them was the 10th man? That's called ignorance. What does Vedanta say? Ignorance. Ignorance of what? Ignorance of the fact that I am the 10th man. Right now we won't go too much into ignorance, etc. But how Vedanta gets its lesson from this story, that was the idea. And so they kept counting and they did not find the 10th man and they were disappointed, very sad, seated under a tree, did not know what to do. What reply shall we give to them? See, nobody ever thought of how is a lost man, how does it look like? The person who is lost, what did he look like? Nobody thinks. He is lost. And we have to search for him. Fortunately, an old person happened to pass by, saw these children all sad, asked them, "What's the reason why are you so sad?" Then this leader told, he told the whole story. One of us is lost. How did you know? We counted. How did you count? He counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Don't worry. I have seen the 10th man. Have you seen the 10th man? They thought that he has seen someplace else, and so, where is he? I'll show you where he is. Count again, carefully. So then, again, 1. Now here's Shraddha and Bhakti. See, this old person was able to inspire them and win their confidence that he knows. They were sure that he knows. This is called Shraddha. The kind of Shraddha that Vedanta expects from us is the teacher knows. That's all. The teacher knows what he's talking about. So here also all the children are Shraddha. That this old person knows what he's talking about. That he has seen the 10th man, so he knows. So with all the Shraddha and attention now, they says, now you count again. So now he counts with all the Shraddha and concentration, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The inquiry, where is the 10th man? Where is Brahman? You are the 10th man. And then the tube light happens here. How? He knew that he is a 10th man. So what happened there? Did he see the 10th man? This is just a question, by the way. Not part of the story, but anyway. Since we're all students of Vedanta, that's why. So when he says, oh yeah, I see, I'm the 10th man. Does he see the 10th man? It's not an easy question, by the way, but still. I realize that I'm the 10th. Is the realization that he sees the 10th man in front of him? If there is somebody in front of him, he can't be himself, isn't it? So what happens to this person, when he realizes that I am the tenth man. Did you see the tenth man? So it's a very fundamental Vedanta. What happens is, his notion that the tenth man is Lord, that notion goes away, that's all. Not that he sees the tenth man. Vedanta doesn't say that you have to see yourself. Ignorance goes away. That I don't know who I am, that goes away. Anyway, so thus, the tenth man story is the accomplishment of what is already accomplished. And that's what human life is. You can never suspect. A human being can never suspect that what he is searching for in his life has to be found from himself. We can never suspect, isn't it? Why can we not suspect? Because we already taken for granted that I am a helpless, miserable creature. I cannot be what I am searching for. I'm seeking a happy person, whole and complete being, and I know that I'm incomplete in every way. How can I be? Therefore, what I'm searching for must be different from me. All these conclusions are there. Therefore, ivam prapya bhajasvamam. Lord Krishna says that recognize that the whole universe is impermanent and changing. Not only that, but it is full of, by the way, it is not fair to say that world is sorrowful. Here I personally disagree with this conclusion of Vedantins, that Swamiji, world is miserable. All our bhaktas sing. Mirabai would say, Pati, I have given up Pati and Patis, and I have given all my relatives because nobody is good. Nobody is mine ultimately, only Ishvara is mine, nobody is mine, therefore I have given up everybody. He disappointed from everybody. So conclusion is that everybody is selfish and Swami is therefore no good. So this world is full of misery. But would you say that this world is full of misery? Is misery or sorrow the nature of this entity? Where is this sorrow? Understand, sorrow is in my mind, not in here. I may call this person Swamiji miserable, sorrowful. I avoid that person because every time I associate the person, I become miserable. So world is miserable. That is not a right assessment of the world. World is not miserable. This miserableness does not lie outside of me. Miserableness is only in me. Happiness and unhappiness, both of them are in me. They are not out there. It is how I judge a given thing. When I judge something that is favorable, conducive, we feel happy. I judge something is unfavorable, not conducive, I feel unhappy. Isn't it? The happiness, unhappiness is a reaction. Reaction arising from my judgment. When my judgment about anything that I am confronting is unpleasant, my judgment about what I am confronting, that it is not conducive, I feel unhappy. My judgment is, it is conducive, I am happy. It's not that thing that makes me happy or unhappy, it is my judgment about that makes me happy or unhappy. You follow what I am saying? Although it's easy for me to say, this Swami, makes my life miserable. But then, that misery, is it out there, or the sorrow or happiness that I feel is the result of my judgment? If my judgment is that this is conducive, favorable, then my response is I'm happy. If my judgment is unfavorable, non-conducive, then my judgment is I'm unhappy. See, they are both reactions, understand? Happiness and unhappiness are reactions on my part. It is the result of my judgment, of what I am confronting. If my judgment is what I am confronting, whether it may be a person, a situation, or even anything, food, a place, a time, a situation, a person, if my judgment is that it is favorable, I am happy. My judgment is unfavorable, I am unhappy. How about Karela, for a bitter gourd? Usual judgment is I hate bitter gourd. But there are some who like them also. So, 9 out of 10 will become unhappy looking at bitter gourd. This, Mom, you cook bitter gourd again? One person says, oh, I am very happy, I like it. So these are all subjective things based on my judgment. Not that bitter gourd, poor thing, doesn't have happiness or unhappiness. If bitter gourd has unhappiness, then nobody can be happy, but then God would not make it. I'm sure whatever is made, He must make somebody happy, otherwise it won't be made. And therefore, we cannot say world is sorrowful, really. We cannot say anything is sorrowful. You know the son-in-law? He was called the Dashama Graha. You know Dashama Graha? The 10th Graha, 10th planet. A planet means those who always bother you. Graha. The son-in-law was called Dashama Graha. They're always, when he comes, then everybody's alert in the home. Make sure that, he feels happy, he's taken care of. No, there's no graha. There's nobody who makes me unhappy. There's nobody, we cannot brand somebody as sorrowful, etc. It is the result of my judgment. I'm saying this particularly so that we can work upon ourselves. That's all the idea is. If I concluded the world is miserable, then there is no way because I can't change the world. If I think that this is the cause of my unhappiness, then also I'm stuck with it because this is what it is. But if I realize that my happiness is the the result of my own perception, my own judgment, my own conclusion rather, then I have the freedom to work on that. If my conclusion is this is unsuitable, I don't like it. Suitable, I like it. So even though this verse says, Asukham lokam, that this world is miserable or full of misery, I take an exception in saying that the world is not full of misery and I am also not full of misery. Where is this misery then, Swamiji? Where is this shoka or grief? Bhagavad Gita begins with that. And Lord Krishna's first statement of teaching is Ashochan Anashochastvam. Here Arjuna, you are grieving for that which should not be grieved for. Meaning that here Arjuna, there is no cause for grief anywhere. Bhagavan says, where did you get this shoka? I have not created it. Lord Krishna says, I know what I have created, and this grief is something I have not created. Where did you get it? That means you have created. If Bhagavan has not created, it is not Ishvara Srushti, it is Jiva Srushti. Meaning that we create it ourselves. And so we have freedom not to be unhappy. We have the freedom not to be miserable. We have freedom not to be unhappy, regardless of what the world is. Swamiji, you don't know. You are quiet, you have escaped. And you are smart. So you don't know what things are. Yeah, I'm smart, no doubt about that, but as far as that aspect is concerned. But still, you have to repeat that if the world was miserable, then I can never be happy, is it not so? If world is full of sorrow, where will I go for being happy? World is not full of sorrow, world is not full of misery, world is what it is. And the sorrow and happiness are my reaction, based on my judgment of what I am confronting. If I judge that what I am confronting here are all wonderful people, how great, how smiling, how supporting they are, how they are enjoying my words, etc. If that's my judgment, then I congratulate myself. I feel happy. Maybe I find an audience that is just half asleep, looking at the ceiling, counting the bulbs. They are doing, but I feel bad, I feel rejected. All these are my judgment about what that cause happiness or misery. Is it not so? Meaning that there is no happiness and misery anywhere. There is no happiness or misery in the world, nor is there happiness or misery in my mind. They are simply my creations. What in Vedanta we call Jiva Srushti, the creation of the individual mind, subjective things. Because if this was misery, then everybody should be miserable. If this was happiness, everybody should feel that way, which is not the case. It has become the nature of my mind to judge things and then feel miserable or happy. Okay, Swamiji, thank you. From now on I'll judge everything such that I become happy. Unfortunately, that is not it. Your mind keeps doing what it does. Bhajasvamam. Arjuna, what you're looking for in life is to be found, Mam, in me, or Lord Krishna talks about our own self, is to be found in our own self. Like that's the reason I told the 10th man story, and the 10th man is found as his own self. Although here, this is 9th chapter, the second Shatkam, in the second group of 6 verses, 6 chapters, where Ishvara is the topic, primary topic. So here Lord Krishna says, Bhajasvamam, worship me, worship Ishvara. How do you worship Ishvara? What is meant by worshipping? What do we do when we worship? When does worship take place? Worship takes place when I look upon something as is worthy of being worshipped. That I think that it has that capacity, that greatness, that generosity, that kindness, that compassion to shower grace upon me, to favor me. I feel that I am in need of favor. here is this entity, the Lord, who is qualified or capable of showering favor upon me, doing favor to me. When these ideas come, then worship is possible. I don't believe in God, Swami. The worship is not possible. I can do things myself. I don't need God. So when I feel that I don't need anything, then there is no question of seeking anything. But when I feel that I am in need of favor, not that I have to feel helpless, I have to feel miserable, but I should recognize that as a human being, I am a limited being in there, but I am always in need. And needs are of two types. One is the worldly needs are there, other are the spiritual needs. So as seekers may feel that we are also in need, Swamiji. I must acquire antahkarana shuddhi, purification of mind. That's my need. Vedanta talks about the qualifications, viveka, vairagya, samadhi, shatka sampatti, etc. That I should enjoy shama, tranquility of mind, dhamma, the control over myself, uparama, the inwardness of the mind, the abiding mind, titiksha, forbearance, shraddha, trust in the teacher and the scriptures, and samadhanam, the concentration of mind. That I realize that even a spiritual seeker also realizes he is in need of samadhi, shatka sampatti. Because that is what qualifies me or prepares me for the shravanam, for listening to the teacher, shravanam, mananam, nididhyasanam. These are described as the means of knowledge. So even for a seeker of knowledge, there are lots of needs. Not only a worldly person has needs, but then seeker of knowledge or a devotee also has needs. Oh Lord, please bless me. Please bless me that I get the devotion for you. Please bless me that I can constantly worship you. There are so many obstacles in my own mind. My mind is constantly being harassed by these demons of raga, dvesha, likes and dislikes. Like the Sita Devi being kidnapped by Ravana. So Ravana, Kumbhakarna stand for like raga, dveshas. Sita stands for our peace of mind. Shanti videha sutah sahachari. Lord Rama is described as Shanti videha sutah sahachari. Videha sutah is Sita. Shanti, the inner peace. So usually Rama means Atma, is accompanied with the Shanti of inner peace. Ragadvesham, but then all these demons of Ragadvesha, Ravana, Kumbhakarna kidnaps that Shanti. Ragadvesha Mukhasuramari, and Lord Rama has to kill those asuras. Mukha means Mukhya, in which Ravana and Kumbhakarna or Ragadvesha are the principal asuras or demons. So devotee also is in need. That please make my mind free from the attack of these demons of Ragadveshas. Please give me the tranquility of the mind so that I can worship you. Bhajasvamam. And therefore recognize, Arjuna, what your need is. If you think that your need is for victory and for kingdom and for power and for happiness, recognize that is not the need. There is a need behind those needs. Arjuna also had a glimpse of this. Na kangshe vijayam Krishna, na cha rajyam sukhani cha. Hey Krishna, I do not want victory, I do not want kingdom, I do not want means of pleasure. I don't know whether he said it out of frustration or out of understanding, but he said that. But Bhagavad Gita portrays Arjuna definitely as the one who is free from these cravings. Nahi prapashyami mamapanudya yacchoka vichosha mundriyanam avapi bhuma sapatna buddham rajyam swarana vichadipatyam. O Lord, even if I get the kingdom of the whole world and kingdom of the heaven also, still I do not think that this pain and burning that I have within my heart, that I can become free from that. So Arjuna recognized a very deep need. In that process of whatever was going on in Arjuna's mind, outwardly he said, of course, I will not fight the battle, and there were conflict in his mind. But somehow that conflict brought him to contact with something very deep within himself. Arjuna said that I do not think that the sorrow in my mind will go away even if I acquire the kingdom of this world or even of the three, the heavens. Meaning that even if I get everything that is in the universe, it still cannot relieve me from the pain that I'm feeling, sorrow that I'm feeling within myself. So he had that insight. And thereby he surrendered to Lord Krishna and says, please teach me. Imam prapya bhajasvamam. Therefore here Arjuna recognized that bhajasvamam, worshipping Ishvara, is the primary purpose of the life. We are devotees anyway, we are bhaktas. We are born bhaktas. At any time I worship what is most important to me. I am a bhakta right now and everybody is a bhakta at a given moment of what the mind at that time considers the most important. If I have to appear for this test, then most important is passing the test, I have become bhakta. Of securing such and such score in this test. That I devote myself to that completely. I remember that, because in India, you only study last month. He is a friend of mine who would even shave his head. So he doesn't have to go to barber, etc. And would confine himself to his room. And his mother was very obliging that she would provide him food, so he would stay in his room. They used to make joke that one tuft is there where it's tied to the ceiling. So immediately you get up, say, don't allow you to fall asleep. And that. But he became a devotee of what? Of that he has to pass the exam. Devotee means one who completely surrendered himself. Everything, the exclusion of everything. No more movies, no more TV, no more friends, no more nothing. This is all. So that is called devotion, where there is an exclusion of everything else. Bhajasvamam Arjuna, you worship me, meaning that everything else should be excluded in your life. Recognize that nothing else can give you what you are seeking. Although that viveka doesn't happen, we listen to this every day. We're listening to it for I don't know how many years, and that includes me also. Listening. And we understand that. And somehow it doesn't sink in there. As soon as we walk out of this hall, then we again become devotees of various things. That my primary requirement is to be accomplished from my own self or from nothing else. If that became my conviction, that would give me 80% freedom. Because then I will not be dependent upon anything. I will not look up to anything to help me or to, because I know that what I am seeking is to be found only from me. Then I'll be very generous with the whole world because I don't need anything from them. When I don't need anything from them, then I am very free and, I am generous. Because I know that what I am seeking is to be found only from me. Even that conviction also, if that conviction comes, then you have won 80% of the battle. Because then my whole attitude towards the world will change. No more there is no expectation from anybody, no demand from anybody. I become a non-demanding, non-expecting person. Is it not so? If I was convinced that what I am seeking is found from myself, nothing out there can give me that, then I will give up all my expectation from it because nobody can fulfill my only expectation is that happiness which is found from me. So vairagya would come right away. Upanishad says, Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. Say Yajnavalkya says to Maitreyi, hey Maitreyi, whatever is dear to you is because you are dear to yourself. Your husband is dear to the wife not for the sake of husband, for the sake of the self. And wife is dear to the husband not for the sake of wife, for the sake of the self. Sounds very selfish, is it not so? No, Swami, I am not like that. I love this person for the sake of the person. But Upanishad says everybody, whatever you love is because you love yourself primarily. Swami, does it mean that we are so self-centered? Yes. Except that self-centered is the S is not small s. He is not self-centered with this S small, small s and big S, capital S. Small self and capital self. When we are self-centered, it is a capital self, which is self of all, which is limitless, and so we are centered. That is what we are seeking. We are all self-centered, but we should become enlightened and self-centered. Self-centered we are. We always look at our interests first, but if we become enlightened self-centered, then we know that the self that I am seeking is the self of all. Atmasu kamaya, it is for the kama or the desire for that Atma, the limitless self, that whatever is dear to me. So Lord Krishna says, Bhajasvamam, worship me. That this worship can be in two stages. One is worshipping Ishvara, then culminate into worship of the self. Both of these Lord Krishna teaches in Bhagavad Gita, worshipping me begins with the Karma Yoga, the first step. And that way Bhagavad Gita is a very brilliant text. Perhaps there is no other text anywhere else where the glory of karma has been sung as much as it is sung in the Gita. Yes, the glory of love has been sung, glory of that is true, but glory of karma, self-effort, purushartha. Because when Arjuna laid his bow and arrow, he actually essentially laid down his very means of purushartha. The very means of accomplishment that he has just given up. Then what are you going to do now? Arjuna, having given up your bow and arrow, what can you accomplish? Nothing. So Gita is now the text of Purusha, the self-effort. And therefore, the glory of karma is being sung in the Bhagavad Gita. Where karma first means the duty. Karma yoga means performing duty with a certain attitude, not just karma. Performing duty. What is duty? Doing what is right in a given situation. So Bhagavad Gita begins, the worship is in different stages that Lord Krishna explains. First stage of worship is Karma Yoga, which is also worshipping Ishvara. Swakarmana tamabhyarcha siddhim vindati manava. Bhagavad Gita says, Swakarmana tam abhyarcha, worshipping that Ishvara with one's own karma. Manava siddhim vindati, a human being attains siddhi or success. How to make my karma or day-to-day activity as a means of success? Except that the understanding of success has to change. Oh Swamiji, thank you. So by karma yoga I gain success? Yes, you will. But I want to be a millionaire. That I do not know. Depends on what is the definition of success. I don't say $1 million is not success. But is that success? Having gained $1 million, Swamiji, now I am completely satisfied, completely content, I don't need anything, then you are a successful person. But having acquired $1 million, now the mind says 1 more million. And that is natural. There is nothing wrong in it. In that case, this 1 million is not given me the kind of success that I want. Meaning that success is not to be defined by something out there. Success is to be defined as a state of my own mind. Siddhim vindati manava, a human being gains success. So Lord Krishna teaches how to gain success in our life. Except that success is a subjective phenomenon. Subject is not an objective phenomenon. Meaning, success is not the description of something out there. Success is the description of something here, meaning of my own mind. Swamiji, that is for you, but the world doesn't accept that. Well, how do you feel when you're successful? Whatever your defined definition of success is, Swamiji, SAT score or whatever score, or MCAT or some other thing, or some other, or the board exams, or some test that you're appearing, and you have a certain goal that this is what my score should be. When you achieve that goal, you are successful. So how do you feel? Now that phenomenon has happened by which you call yourself successful, but then how do you feel within yourself? Feel happy. What makes you happy? Because you think that you are all right. You had a certain goal, let us say in this case of scoring a certain, marks or tests. When you attain what you call success, what happens to you is that there is a feeling of self-worth. There is a feeling of self-acceptance or self-worth. Understand that. So, no doubt there is something out there that has created that feeling in me. But in reality, what success is that feeling that gets created in me of self-worth, self-acceptance, self-satisfaction. So that is why a child will feel successful. CAT, cat. Wow, spelling bee, he has become champion, speller. So the children come home with that kind of certificate, isn't it? Yes. He's success speller. What spelling? C-A-T, cat. He may have the same kind of self-worth or pride as the spelling bee people, this. Success is the same. Outward situation would change. What creates in me that sense of success will vary. What happens to me when I feel successful is the same. And that is, I feel self-worthy, I feel self-satisfied, self-accepting, worthy or happy or content in my own perception. So understand that success also is a subjective phenomenon. Not what happens out there creates in me something here, the sense of self-worth. If it did not create, then I won't call it success. Oh Swami, I thought I was successful, my friend got more than me, I no more feel that way. So Lord Krishna teaches us the way of becoming successful. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna does not teach how to get something out there, which he doesn't object. Lord Krishna does not object any, acquiring or attaining worldly success. He doesn't object to that. He basically says to us that ultimately success is your own state of mind. Success is not the description of what happens out there. Success is the description of your state of mind. Swakarmana tamabhyarcha siddhim vindati manavaha varshime ishvara. With one's own karma or duty, one gains success. Performing duty, how do you gain success? If that success out there, there is no guarantee that by doing your duty you get success out there. Success is something which is in my own mind. Bhajasvamam. Here Arjuna, worship me, then you get the true success in your life. How to worship me? Swakarmana tamabhyarcha. Worshipping that Ishvara with my own karma, I become successful. So he wants something from us. Give me your karma. Give me your karma phala. Give me karma. Ultimately give me yourself totally. But slowly. It starts with karma phala. Then it's now give me karma. Just give me your ego. So one by one he is slowly, he is a beggar. Not satisfied until we give him completely. Like when he goes to, Mahabali. And Mahabali is so kind, he offers him, he says, I want just 3 steps of land. He says, you are in front of Bali, I am the king, I am the sovereign of the entire universe, I can give you half the universe. What do you mean you want just little land? Oh, I am just a brahmachari. I need some little land for my meditation, that's all I want. Then this Vamana also gives him a lesson. You should not ask for anything more than what you need, he says, Who says? This Bhagavan Vaman says to Bali Raja, says, no, I don't want more than what I need. One should not ask for more than what one needs. I just want only 3 steps of land. Given. And then this is a classic case of cheating, isn't it? Bali Raja, he could have taken objection to this. This is not right. Because the condition is not followed. Mahabali followed the condition of offering 3 steps of land, but did Vamana follow that condition? He asked for 3 steps as a Vamana, he became what? Virat. And then that was not fair. But Bali Raja did not mind that also. So who is generous here? Who is more large-hearted? Who is small-hearted? Very often Bhagavan has proven his bhaktas to be greater than him, really. So when his guru told him, hey, Hari has come here, he is going to cheat you. If Hari comes here to buy a bag, I can give anything. And so he snatched away everything from Bali Raja. So bhajasvamaham, that's what he wants ultimately. In his mind, that is the intention. That you give one by one by one. That bhajanam or bhakti is start with karmaphala, then asakti, karmaphala, karma, kartrutvam. You will be emptied completely. So that I can fill you up. So the art of emptying ourselves so that ultimately we can discover that fullness in ourselves. That's what Lord Krishna is teaching. We will continue our discussion in the subsequent class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.